This is an Arcane Intelligence podcast.
Welcome to a world of danger and wonder. Here, four friends, led by their dungeon master, roll dice and discover adventure. This is the Tale Untold podcast.
Hello, friends, and welcome to another exciting adventure, the Tale Untold podcast. I'm your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, Matthew, and today I'm joined by Mike.
Hey everyone, it is me, Mike. I play Deja and Mason, the multiple personality duo that are together, the Genie Pact Warlock.
So much fun. Multiple personalities has become a theme this campaign. I'm also joined by Brad.
Hello, everyone. I play Azel, a magical escape artist with a penchant for talking his way into trouble.
Who shall not be confused with Augie, who may or may not have the same name of Azel, previous character in the campaign. And we are joined today by a very exciting guest, Jacob.
Hi, my name is Jacob, and I will be guest starring at the end of this campaign as a Furbolg druid named Furbolg.
Right on the nose. Love it.
I love it. Unfortunately, Jace could not be with us today. That's just how life is. So I will be playing the part of Bangruck. I'll do my very best to mimic his voice, but I don't think anyone could ever replace Jace. He's just too good.
No,
So,
he's irreplaceable.
Where we left off, you guys had entered into this tomb as a way to try and cut through the mountains to get back to Threya, the central valley that you guys started in. If you need reference, there is a map in the map section of our Discord channel, and also online at the Arcane Intelligence Discord for you as well, our handy-dandy listeners. You guys were heading through this tunnel that had recently been discovered by Tibron, one of the members of the magical underground in the Remnant Empire. You discovered that inside the entrance was 4 caskets of ancient Formar, including some fun items, a seeing glass of true sight, a set of mechanical, unbreakable thieves' tools, and a amulet, which when Azel put the amulet on, the voice of Fori, the Formar god, echoed through his mind, proclaiming that he was now Fori's chosen and that he must pass some trials to prove his virtue if he was to be allowed through the way. You also found a statue worth 750 gold.
Yeah. By the way, I love that Azel has become a priest of a very ancient and wise deity. It is awesome and amazing.
What was there's specific words that Foray told me that I was I a priest?
You are the high priest of Fori.
Priest of...
The last high priest to be found in over 1,000 years.
Well, ain't that something?
I love how he is a Texas arcane trickster. That's just the best part. Where we guys left off is that you guys had come into a room, the door had closed behind you, and in this room was a simple pedestal about 4 feet tall with a ruby the size of an apple embedded in the top. This pedestal was surrounded by 5 feet of water, which you guys discovered was only about 2 inches deep. And there was a lever exactly 7 feet away from the pedestal that was made of stone. No other doors to be seen. And that's where we left you off. So, what would you guys like to do?
I'd like to pull out the magnifying glass and look around the room with it.
All right. So since this is technically a magnifying glass of true sight, you may do so. You will not see anything in the ethereal plane. You'll not see any illusion magics dispelled. You simply will continue to see what you see, although you will notice a slight magical tinkle coming from the ruby.
Well, it seems as though the ruby on that pedestal is magical, not to anyone's surprise. But otherwise, everything seems quite mundane. No illusions or strange ethereal things about. I suggest that we just pull the lever and see what happens. Seems to usually work out in these kinds of scenarios, or we fall down a trap door to our deaths. Either way,
Yeah, I think that lever's a good place to start.
do we want to maybe tap the ruby and pull the lever at the same time? Or just do one at a time first to isolate the individual functions?
How far out does the water go?
The water is approximately 4 feet in radius
A
from the
4 foot
pedestal,
radius.
meaning that there is technically 9 squares of 5 foot distance around the pedestal. So 8 squares around the 9th square in the center, which is the pedestal, if you're thinking of this as a grid.
Got it.
I
Um,
could fly over to the pedestal and bypass the water.
yeah, and I don't got a great feeling about that water. I also don't have a great feeling about that pedestal or even a great feeling about this room. But you think you're gonna touch the pedestal?
Well, I think we might want to just maybe isolate these individually, pull the lever first and see what happens, and then tap the gem if nothing of particular interest happens. I suspect, though, pulling this lever will activate some sort of mechanism which will increase pressure on us and force us to make decisions in a timely manner, but who knows?
I'm gonna walk over and I'm just gonna poke the lever, like one finger, poke it.
We spend the next 3 episodes determining whether or not to pull the lever.
The lever, which is in the position where it's been moved away from you, as you poke it, it bounces relatively freely. It doesn't seem to be seized in any way, whether through magical means or through the fact that you're underground. So any dust that was in here is long since settled. So there's not much chance of anything getting lodged. It seems to be free of movement. Do you pull it towards you? That's what you would do to activate pulling it towards you.
All right, I'm gonna pull it, and then Azel will pull it. I'm gonna pull it slowly.
Mm-hmm.
and
So
then-
you grab it with both hands. You begin to lean back, pulling it with you. Remind me, Azel's roughly human equivalent, right?
yeah, he is high elf
Okay. So
stat wise.
I was gonna try to remember if you were halfling or not. So you pull it back towards yourself. It's not too difficult. Once it gets about halfway through, you feel some slight tension, and then it suddenly gives and flips to the other side with an audible click.
Do
Nothing
I see anything
happens.
happen? Nothing happens. I'm gonna throw
As
it
you
back.
release it, it resets back to its original position.
Okay, so it's kind of like spring loaded.
It appears to be.
All right.
We did a look around here last session, didn't we? Or
There's a single beam of light descending into the pool from a opening up above.
yeah.
That is roughly illuminating the ruby.
But like we looked around at the walls for
There was no distinguishing features. There was
No,
no of
yeah.
the hieroglyphics that you guys had encountered on the way in.
Are the
Just
walls like
blank, rough-hewn
smooth?
walls.
Like they've been like finely
Smooth
carved, or
and
they've been hard to-
domed.
All right. Well, I'll. You know what? I'm just gonna walk over to the pedestal in the middle of the room.
You
I'm not
splash
even
through the
gonna
water.
fly. Yeah, I splashed through the water. I'm just gonna do it. If
Okay.
it's a thing, I'm gonna do it, and it's gonna be
Splash through the
done.
water. What do you do with the pedestal?
I'll take a look at it, investigate the ruby. Does it look like there are any mechanisms for like depressing it or turning the pedestal or whatever? Just I guess
As you're poking around it and kind of like using your tinker's tools at a slight bit of distance to poke at it, you notice that as you're touching with the tinker's tools, it doesn't seem to give. But as you reach over it to tap on the far side to see if maybe you could pry it, you can feel the ruby start to glow with a slight bit of heat, and you can see it slip down just a little bit. But as soon as you remove your hand, it goes back to its original position and begins to return to its original temperature.
was that when I laid a shadow upon it?
When the flesh of your body was over it.
Okay. Oh, all right. Well, gentlemen, it seems as though placing my hand over top of this gem is activating it somehow. If I die some horrible death, that's a clue for you to proceed with. And she puts her hand over top of the gem. I am ready to be out of this deep,
Are you
dark
touching the
cavern,
gem or are you hovering above it?
hovering above it.
Very good. You can feel the gem humming with a slight kind of low tone. And as your hand gets closer, you can hear it rise slightly in tone from a as your hand gets closer.
I think it wants me to touch it. And I guess I will bring my hand closer. You said it's emanating heat. I don't want to burn myself, but I'll bring it closer and closer and closer and feel for the heat.
It feels warm as you get closer, but not unbearably warm, kind of like fresh baked bread, right, as you're cutting into it. And as your
Right.
hand touches it, it goes cool again. You can feel
Mm.
slight vibrations in your hand, and it depresses.
Like a button.
Like a button.
Clicks in.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll pull the lever.
Fang offers to pull the lever this time.
All right.
Sharing the danger. How
Fang
gentlemanly.
grabs the lever, and he pulls it back. Click. Azel. Two things happen simultaneously. One, a door on the far side slides open with a piece of stone descending into the floor. At the same time, you can feel some sort of magical force bind itself to your hand, and your hand feels as if it is magically affixed to the ruby. Third thing that happens simultaneously. The pedestal begins slowly descending down towards the water, pulling your hand with it, and you hear a voice begin counting out loud in the room. 20, 19, 18,
Okay.
Wait,
17,
so Azel or
16,
Deja?
15,
Go to the door.
14.
I'm
So-
gonna go through the door.
13,
I'm gonna
12,
put my mage
10.
hand on the ruby as well.
9, 8. Your mage hand does nothing.
It does nothing.
7, 6.
So-
Go to check.
I just
5.
want to pause and clarify what you're saying. The ruby and the pedestal has gone down under
It's
the
slowly
water.
descending. At 10
Okay.
count, it has dropped half its height and is pulling you down with it towards the water. The door is open, but you are fixed to it.
I'm fixed to the pedestal.
Mhm.
Okay.
As this is descending, Fang says, I don't think this is a good idea.
Everyone through the
Fang,
door.
Fang, let go of the. Can you let go of the lever?
He lets go of it and it ratchets back to position as it continues. The thing continues to descend downward.
That doesn't stop the count.
Okay, everyone through the door now. So as
Well,
soon as I
we can go
realized my hand
through.
is stuck, I would have told them. Like I wasn't clear that was what was
You
happening.
attempt to go up
Yeah.
to the door, and as soon as the party gets up to the door slams shut just before they get to it, and you can hear the voice continue its countdown. 5, 4.
So it was when we got to
3,
the door, not when we let go
2.
of the.
At 2, Fang leaps back and pushes the lever back in the other position. The pedestal halts its descent, and you hear the numbers restart. 20,
Okay.
19,
Meta, I know
18.
this trap.
17. No, you don't.
So I'm not going
16.
to say anything.
15. It's not the same trap. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10,
I
9,
want to. So
8.
pause. The lever reset when
And
Fang,
Fang pushed
pulled
the
it
lever
again?
back. Yes.
because it's spring loaded, right? So
Yes. So it
he
returned
let
to its
go
original
of it.
position, and then he pushed it back into the activated position and it restarted the countdown.
okay,
And my
Fang,
hand
let go
continues to
and-
be stuck to it.
Your hand is continuing to be stuck to it and is descended halfway down towards the floor.
does it go
Okay.
back up when the count stops?
It does not.
Use your mage hand, hold it, and go through the door. I'll misty step through.
Okay, I'll mage hand to hold the lever and try to approach the door again.
You've
But the
reset
door
the
won't.
count a few times while you guys are talking this over. Fang just keeps pulling it when it gets
Yeah,
to
so-
like 10. You guys set up at your door. You go to push it with Fang with your mage hand. Your mage hand passes through the lever and is unable to grasp it.
I will grab it with my whip. I'll whip it good. Whip it. Whip it. Cool whip. Whip. It
You're
good.
able to open the door with your whip. However, as the party attempts to shoot through, again, right as they get to the lintel of it, it slams shut in front of them, stopping them just before they get caught in its closing mechanism.
So no matter whether or not we have holding the lever active, the door shuts whenever somebody gets close to it.
Yes.
All right, I'm done. let's just let the countdown go to 0. It seems as though this room wants us to fail. I believe this is what the people of the star trekking call the Kobayashi Maru.
I think we gotta get your hand off that gem first. I don't think it's gonna let us through if you're stuck to that gem. This is supposed to be about honor or something, or I forget. But
Fang is
Well,
very confused by the mention of a Kobayashi Maru and star trekking, and he's mentioning to himself, "What's the name of those people? Bizarre, what is it? Descended from angels. What are they?" He's just sitting there quietly trying to figure it out to himself. You guys reset
uh,
it. As it counts down, what are you doing?
I
You're attached to it.
I'm attached to the pedestal.
I'm gonna go try to. I'm gonna go over to his hand and try to, like, I guess, help. I wanna figure out if I wanna investigate why his hand is stuck.
Okay. So you let the countdown continue. It gets to 5, 4, 3,
Right.
2,
I
1.
mean, I assume.
The beam of light shuts down above you. You're in pitch black. You can feel the pedestal sink beneath the water. The light comes back up. Your hand is released. The pedestal is completely submerged. And you can feel some sort of strange enchantment has taken over both of your boots from standing in the water. Otherwise, the door remains open, and you're now free.
It's not free.
So
Okay.
there's an enchantment. Okay, I'm going to use the magnifying glass and look at my boots.
This is why I gave it to you. These are slightly nomenclature reskinned boots of elven kind, so they're boots of Formar step that have been enchanted by the water. And then, Azel, you hear a voice come through your brain. You've proven your fidelity to your party member by seeking to assist him instead of leaving him to die or letting him be swallowed by the water. Very good. Continue. My trials await.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
know
I
that
think.
one.
I think that was.
Consider that one your gimme for tonight to get you guys in the correct mood for puzzles.
Yeah, I love that. I love that puzzle. I use it on every group that I haven't done it with before. It's fun. It's a warm up.
It's my go-to palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Get you in the right headspace for puzzles. So you
Yeah.
guys go through the door. Fang follows you. As soon as you guys are through the door, it slides shut behind you, and some glowing crystals begin to illuminate in the floor, leading you down a hallway. Hallway curves slightly to the right and slightly up, and you come through another open door, and in the center of this room stands what looks to be a statue, frozen in the middle, cross-legged, sitting there with nothing else around it. This room is very similar to the first one, very dome-shaped, smooth walls, a single beam of light illuminating this statue.
I will use the magnifying glass to look at the statue. This is going to become a very repeating thing.
I had a feeling, which is why I gave it to you for the first few things here. As you hold the magnifying glass up, you can tell the statue is actually a petrified individual.
It seems as though this individual or the statue is actually someone who has been petrified. How curious.
You mean there's a person in that statue?
Yes.
Does the statue at all resemble the statue we got? The little 750 gold statue?
It does not. That statue, well, actually, that statue resembles a Formar magician in the middle of weaving some of their elemental magic. They don't
Right.
resemble each other. This statue appears to be a Furbolg, a creature that is extremely rare in your part of the world. Not too rare in the area where the Twatha live, in the Moon Forest to the north, but very rare in the cities given their penchant for nature.
As I recall in lore, the Furbolgi and the Foramar crossbred to make the Twathans.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The Furbolgi, then the remainder turned into the Furbolg over time.
Okay.
There's
Well,
no door to this room as well.
There is not yet an exit. There's just the door behind you.
I'll look around in the room with my magnifying glass to see if I can find anything. I finally found my southern accent.
You look around the room, and you do see a little bit of an inscription on the far wall now that you're a lot closer. It's very small, and it is written in that old Elvish script that seems to be so common with these tombs. Remind me, does May speak Elven?
Yes, she speaks
Okay.
Elven. That in common is what she can speak.
Well, you can see that it says,
And Southern. And French accent. And a bunch of other accents appears.
there's an inscription that says, greet your old friend in order to advance.
Well, that's perfect because Azel was waving in front of his eyes the whole time, just trying to like see if he could get any movement. Once you said that there was a person in there,
Fang walks up and says, what if we just, he pats him on the shoulder and shakes him a little bit, and this petrification, the stone on the outside begins to splinter and crack with the physical touch. Jacob, you awaken from the petrification that you entered into when your party first came into these tombs seeking entrance. As far as you know, no time has passed except for the 1 year that the voice promised that you must wait, at least, before your party must return to prove their perseverance. You awaken to see a high elf that does not look to be pure blood, a human that does not look to be particularly pure blood, and a half-orc that looks particularly half-orcish.
pure
You,
half orc.
you see this 7.5 foot, 300-pound just creature stretch up. Ugh. Mm. What year is it?
I don't know, DM, what year is it?
It's been 2,000 years since the shattering, 6,000 years since the Formar collapse. According to the Remnant Empire, it's been roughly about 1,500 years since they settled in that area.
It's about 18 years since I was born.
Hey there, darling. What year do you think it is? What's the last thing you remember happened in the world?
I remember coming to here and party need to continue, but say you need to be petrified 1 year. So I choose to be petrified so party can continue.
Oh, how noble of you. You hear that, guys? This guy here, that's solid of you. I don't particularly recognize your lineage, I think is the proper term that they're using these days.
What are you?
From forest.
That's
Oh.
specific.
All forest is home for Filbog.
Well, that's interesting.
Would we recognize Furbolg?
Does anyone have proficiency in history?
Thomas did.
Negative. Yes. All of our smart people are gone.
Nope, all the smart people are gone.
I know Fang definitely does not. So you're all like, whatever that is, cool.
So me, Jacob, does not know this, but the character probably knows what
Yes.
city they were nearby.
So the closest city was part of the Remnant Empire, which, when you were entombed, was 500 years old. During the reign of Queen Ashaya, the nearest city is Krenaya, but you were heading through the tomb with your party in an attempt to locate the Foramar priest's amulet to try and welcome in the return of the priesthood to the Foramar lands. Part of an extended adventure with several of your party, which unfortunately, many most likely are all dead now.
I still don't know that at this point, though.
Right.
No, not yet.
Okay. I relay that information to them.
May would recognize from the book that they recently read that Queen Ashaya was roughly 500 years ago. Was roughly 1,500 years prior.
1,500 years prior to now?
No, wait, sorry. 1,000 years. I'm forgetting my own notes. Pardon me.
So it's been 1,000 years since the Queen Ashaya ruled.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but Queen Ashaya ruled about 1,000 years ago. I think you maybe overslept. Did you set your timer or your alarm clock? I always forget to set my alarm clock. I run, you need to twist those things real hard to make sure that they retain their, spring.
You
And,
see the furball just counting on his fingers up to 1,000. What you mean 1,000?
The
Uh,
most
What you
unique thing
mean?
for
Yeah, I
counting
don't-
you've ever seen involves knuckles and his wrist and everything.
okay,
What is
best
clock?
now, okay, guess who? All right. So you know how many moons there are in a year? Or how many moons there are between harvests, between summers?
Roughly.
Yes, now that many 3 summers in years. So that's the number of summers. Like, I'm not explaining myself so well. I'm sorry. So 3 years or 3 summers worth of moons
Wait.
turned
Queen
into 3
Ashaya,
years.
Queen Ashaya not in power?
No, she's had about, let's see, 1,000. So how many years per generation?
Generations usually counted as 40 years.
So, yeah, that's a lot. So,
250-ish generations.
yeah, May wouldn't be able to do that math. She's smart, but I don't think she was super educated in
Frank
mathematics
just reaches in.
and
It's
division.
been a long time. Let's go with that.
Yes, it's been a lot of over 200 queens.
It's been a lot more than a year.
Yeah, a lot more than a year. In
What
fact,
you telling me? You telling me Queen Ashaya no longer power?
yes,
Right.
she's been dead a long time, enough to become archaeological. And so sorry, that's not the right word to use with you. I'm sorry.
I
Okay, but
don't
the amount of
think
time that it takes a tree to grow and die about 10
That could be a
times
very
a big
long
tree.
time.
Yeah,
10 tree lives?
10 tree lives. Yeah,
10?
10 tree
That-
lives.
That
You know-
is...
You might be exaggerating by like 2 trees, but it's still a long time.
It's fine. Big tree lasts a long time. Small
Yes,
tree
big
lasts
tree.
a little bit less, right? Less time.
Yes. So I think I think we got this. Let's talk in trees. Tree lifetimes. Yeah. All right. I think we got this. We got this. Excellent. Oh, we've got a frame of reference. Now everything's going to be counted in trees.
This is fine for me.
Hazel, in your head, you hear the voice. His perseverance is rewarded. Please continue. And the door on the far side slowly descends to the ground, flush, so you can pass over.
Well,
Foray said we did it. I'm not sure if it was him surviving this long petrified or if it was just you guys working hard enough at figuring out the numbers, but so we persevered and we get to keep moving.
yeah. I mean, that was hard. That was a puzzle. That was a puzzle. I mean, really.
What are you in search of?
We're trying to get back to the valley. You know a place called Threya?
No, but you do know about the valley, the large valley to the north of this area.
I do know about Valley, but not the name.
Yeah, so some generations ago they made a wall blocking off the valley from the plains, which is where we're from, and we're trying to get into the valley because there's bad magic users resurrecting the dead and turning them into monsters.
This sounds like a little problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess if Amulet was already found by my party a long time ago, I guess
Is this the amulet? And you point over
Yeah,
to
Hazel,
what
hold it
Hazel
up.
has.
is that the amulet?
Mm-hmm.
Where did you get Amulet?
So you came from the plains too. It was right there by the entrance. I'm sorry to say you went all this way inside and got trapped and petrified for 1,000 years. Unless that was your party, I suppose it could have been that have entombed out
Yeah,
there.
I was thinking maybe.
Well, there was a tomb with 4 caskets, or rather, I guess monuments to people, and they had these trinkets on top. And what were the tombs depicting? Like they had carvings of
They had
individuals on top, right?
intricate carvings of some individuals and their life stories, which sound very familiar to our Furbolg. There was a human that was a fantastic unarmed fighter. There was 2 Foramar that were with him, one of which was a powerful lore master, the other a um, capable mage. And of course, there was the halfling that was with you, who was a little too fond of his loot and causing trouble.
Well, I think your friends did find the amulet.
Oh,
yeah.
good. Very good. I'm so happy that they lived happy, long lives with the treasure. That's good for me.
Yeah, I think they mighta.
Well, certainly they lived and they had the treasure. The middle bits, I'm not sure. Anyways, we're heading this way. You want to come with us?
You see him kind of like wrapping his hands around his quarterstaff while he's tapping it on the ground, just like thinking about everything. And it's like, if it's really 10 tree lives ago, like Furbolgs can live maybe like 5 tree lives, like the oldest. And so he's really just thinking about his clan and if it even still exists at this point.
Some
Well-
heavy stuff.
Yeah, I don't remember any of your kind out on the plains.
We a crafty bunch. I'm sure we hiding somewhere. But
Yeah, there are not a lot of trees there, or at least now. So
Wait,
but for now, let's get to Valley and maybe
Yeah.
I find them.
I hear a lot of trees are in the valley. So probably good guess.
Sure, this will be fine.
All right,
I head up.
I
I pack up my stuff.
I love this, but the door is open and we can chat in whatever the next room's got.
Yeah,
Alright. Let's go. But 1 second. 1,000 years. I need to use bathroom real quick.
yeah,
And
go ahead.
I go over into the corner and I do my thing real quick.
In the last room, there was a nice little fountain water pool thing.
It's too late. I'm already going.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Hazel's
We're not coming back into this room.
Hazel's
He's
just
going.
trying to apologize to Foray into the amulet. He's like, I would have stopped him, but 1,000 years a long
No.
time.
Yeah.
It is understandable, and how is it that some of your kind say it? SOCKS? It is what it is. I know not your languages, they are confusing, and
Hell, I barely know my languages.
so you guys, after Furbolg does his moment, you guys proceed through the door. More of this illuminated crystal work, really, in the floor, guides you forward.
Is it flashing in a dotted line, like dots leading us to where we need to go?
It's
Bloop,
like
bloop,
a
bloop,
soft
bloop, bloop.
hum,
Bloop,
you
bloop,
know,
bloop, bloop, bloop.
soft little pulsing hum. You know,
Oh, now I'm picturing like in a movie theater, the like lights
Yeah.
on the
yeah,
Strip lights,
basically.
or in
Got
a
it.
like airplane.
yeah.
So, yes, I'm trying to decide which trap throw at you. Okay, so you guys come through a door onto a ledge in front of a large chasm, 80-ish feet across. On the far side, you see an open door. As soon as you're all through the door lies shut behind you, and you all feel a slight electric tinge hit the air. If anyone has proficiency with Arcana, you may make a check if you like.
No, but I'm gonna pull out my magnifying glass and look around. Can I just make it into a monocle?
Considering it's 8 inches across, that might be really hysterical.
That's such an
Yeah, one
Augie
of the-
thing that he would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could
Yeah,
have it
May
a-
wouldn't do that.
Augie'd have a
Augie would-
monocle in like the moment
Yeah.
he got it.
Jacob,
Yeah.
do you have a proficiency in Arcana?
No, but I do have Furbolg magic. I can cast detect magic using it once per short rest. So I'll do that.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic, and you feel the spell slip out from your bodily form, kind of going out, kind of like an invisible fog bank. But as soon as it hits the edge of the chasm, it's almost as if it is just sucked into a vacuum, and your perception magically cannot pass over the edge of the chasm. You would interpret this as feeling as if there is an anti-magic field over the chasm.
I have bad news and more bad news. Bad news is even though I could theoretically carry everybody across the stage, I cannot because I would turn into Firbolg and die.
So you're saying that you could carry us across, but you can't? That's quite
Yes.
confusing.
I could turn into giant eagle and carry across, no problem. But
You know what? I can turn
I-
into a giant ape and fly across. Wow. Who'da
okay,
thunk?
go. I would not give Threya because it seems like magic does not work in hold.
Oh, all right. 80 foot long. That's quite the distance.
80 feet. Is
Um,
that what we got?
Does anyone have an 80-foot long rope?
I've
The
got
number was chosen for a reason.
a 60-foot long rope.
I have 50-foot rope.
Yes,
In
as do
bag.
I. All right,
So-
shall we actually, Sir Fan, I'm gonna hold out my hand over the edge with Sir Fan on it. Sir Fan is a little pixie fairy familiar, and then you're gonna have him put his finger just over the edge.
So I had to triple check my rules for this just for you, Mike. As a
Yeah.
summoned creature, as soon as he crosses over the threshold, you can see him start to dissolve into the anti-magic field. He's not in any
Alright.
danger. He's simply being dispelled back to the pocket dimension he comes from when you bamf him back to you.
Alright.
He's very
Sir Fan?
uncomfortable as he watches his hand just disappear into dust. You do notice the dust flies upward.
Oh, okay. You know what? I got a little idea. I'm gonna grab some pebbles off of the ground and throw them up over the chasm.
They fall like normal.
Fall like normal. All right. I put my hand over the chasm.
You don't feel anything.
All right, Sir Finn, why don't you hop into the back of my imagination and you can, hang out there for now.
Put back. I'm not sure.
Um,
Sorry, I got a Mr. Rogers vibe from that real quick. Sorry.
Deja's maze magical neighborhood, which sounds really bad. I get this slight feeling that if we jump, we're gonna float, but I don't want to test that outright. As
Yeah, I
Sir
like-
Fan.
I'd like that to be the last option we try. I'm getting
Well,
the same vibe, but
why don't
Does
you
anyone
guys
have a
kinda-
passive perception above 16?
Yeah, mine's
I've-
18.
17.
Oh yes, someone with
Okay,
great
as he's
perception.
talking, you two hear a small clatter echoing from the other side. And you see two stones that are bouncing all around the ground, slide off the edge, and fall back into the chasm.
What?
On the other side,
On the other side.
Did it just take a while? Were those the stones you threw? Can your glass does your glass actually like magnify stuff? Or does it just let you see stuff?
They're falling too fast.
I'm gonna do it again. Throw some. Actually, you know what? This time I'm gonna grab something from my pack that's a little bit more
Disposable?
identifiable than just a few rocks. Let's see, what do I got here? You know what? I'm gonna light a torch and I'm gonna throw it over the edge and see what happens.
It falls down. You see it descend lower and lower and lower. Until eventually the light of it is just a tiny pinprick and then kind of disappears.
Well, that's maybe not gonna work.
You see a
Uh,
tiny, those of you with a high enough perception while he's looking over see a small flash of fire and then some soot spread over a rock.
Does it? Can anyone see over to the other side? Is that my torch? Is it torn asunder?
I look. I don't really have any extra vision or anything.
80 feet across, it's really hard to identify. It was a little easier to see the moving rocks, but you did see a little gout of something. Fori comes through to Azel's brain, where only Azel can hear. Prove your courage.
We gotta jump, don't we?
All right.
I I got one more idea. I'm going to pull out my rope and cast rope trick on the other side of the. So it's still over the land,
Mm-hmm.
but then the rope will fly up 60 feet, the length of the rope. And then I'm going to push the rope and see if when it swings into the cavern, what happens. Because basically it's like fixed to the top now.
So you're causing it to affix itself to the roof?
It just like floats in midair. So it like
Okay.
magically goes up to the length of it and then like is fixed there. And then
Okay,
just
so it's kind of
hangs.
like the rope becomes solid. That's right. So many spells, so little time.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
As you kind of tilt it over the edge, it suddenly goes slack, all of it that was over the edge, and falls limp. And as you pull it back, it stays limp, but the part that was not over the edge retains its slightly rigid nature.
All right. Well, I'm gonna jump. I'm gonna grab onto the rope, and I'm just gonna go down.
You grab onto the rope.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still affixed, right, to
So-
the side, and it's dangling down the edge, right?
So it's like hanging above us. So it's
Yeah.
the end of the rope is directly in front of you, and the rest of the rope is hanging in the air above us.
So there's about 40 feet of rope going down, right?
No, like
Yeah.
all of it's sorry, the bottom of the rope is in front of you. The top of it is 60 feet in the air.
Oh, okay. I get you. So can I? No, we
So you can
couldn't
swing across, but you would be,
Ah.
it'd just give you a good start.
You know what? I'm just gonna do it, and I'm gonna jump out. If I'm gonna get close to the ground on the other side, I'm gonna ready my action to fly as soon as I get to the other side, so I don't crash in and destroy myself.
That's fine.
See you laters.
Um,
Woo!
Okay. You jump off the edge. You fall. You keep
It's
falling.
really deep.
You keep falling until the light above you from the crystals disappears and you're falling in pure darkness. And then you see a light below you. And all of a sudden, you see ground coming up to meet you.
All
However,
right, I'm
as you
gonna
get closer,
fly.
it seems like your momentum arrests. Yeah, your momentum arrests right as you're about 10 feet off the ground, and it just gently sets you down, almost as if under the effects of featherfall
No.
at a higher level. So you guys are standing there, you see him jump, and you hear him go, "Woo,"
All right.
and then
And then
almost
I get
like
loud
he is
again.
magically just kind of bamfed over there, just pop. He's on the other side, looking a little disheveled from falling, but otherwise, she's looking a little disheveled from falling, but otherwise, none the worse for wear.
All right,
That
good
was
enough for me.
fun.
And I'm gonna like take the rope and do like a big like rope swing into a river cannonball.
Cannonball.
Good enough
Make
for
a
me.
dexterity save since you're doing more than just jumping feet first.
And I'm gonna move out of the way.
That is a 26.
You land so gracefully that for a second, May is just a little dumbfounded because as you pop out, you end up like a ballerina on one toe in the middle of a pirouette. It's beautiful.
All right. It's fine for me. I jump and I kind of like plug my nose as I'm going down.
You fall, you continue to do the same thing, and you bamf out of it on the other side, still holding your nose, standing on the ground, since I imagine you also kind of closed your eyes at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, and you're all on the other side.
All right, Fang. Jump.
Fine. And he kind of just steps off the edge as if he's walking. Falls. And then he pops
Very
out the other
stoic.
side, mid-step. That was weird. And you guys have the door before you.
All right. Is it like a door or a opening?
An archway.
Archway. Okay. Is it dark?
It's illuminated with the same glowing crystalline runners.
All right. Tell me when we get to a dark place so that I can light up a torch because I don't have dark vision.
It's kind of dim in there. If it wasn't for the runners, it would be particularly dim. It's basically full of dim light.
Okay.
So you come to a room.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna pick up my torch that I
Yeah.
dropped.
You find it kind of sitting behind a couple of rocks where it
Yeah.
fell. You guys go along the way.
Yep.
Yeah. And you come through into a room that's pitch black.
I'm gonna light up a torch.
Fang does the same, even though he can see in the dark. As you raise your torches high, you see the glint gold all around you. Mountains of gold, piles 10, 20, 30 feet high and going impossibly far back. The light is showing glimmers of gold so far in the back that all you see is a tiny twinkle. You don't even see the object. As you look around, you see chests piled with gold and diamonds, weapons that seem to hum gently with magic and giving off soft beams of light are sticking out of the hoard. And through the hoard is a single pathway, exactly 5 feet apart, sneaking its way through the hoard and curving around some of the mountains.
All right. I rolled a wisdom check to see if I was smart or wise enough to know not to touch this, and I think I just eked it out.
What'd you get?
Oh, I got a 6 plus 4. I was gonna say 10. If I got less than 10, I was gonna go for the gold, but I got 6 plus 4. So with
See,
wisdom
the funny
save.
part is that you stumbled onto what I was going to ask y'all to do, which is to roll a wisdom save.
Oh, okay.
Which
I
is
got 10.
hysterical.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom check. My apologies. I've been talking a
So-
lot of D&D today. My narrative writing club I host at school was asking to learn how to play D&D for character writing purposes, and trying to get them through their character sheets today was like pulling teeth, but it was great.
It's a complicated thing for just having to
13-year-olds
start.
in character sheets.
I got a 13.
I had a
Hazel?
14.
Okay.
Okay. Someone gonna roll for Fang?
I
It's not
am.
gonna be pretty. I'm pretty sure does he have negative wisdom? No, he has negative intelligence.
His negative
Yeah,
intelligence.
he has
His
a
wisdom's probably
He's
like,
an annoyingly high wisdom for his class.
does he really?
Doesn't matter. He rolled a natural 1. Oh,
Oh no. Which is apropos
like
because I
he gets
think
like a 4.
I think Jace would probably opt in to fail that saving throw.
Yes, because his whole thing is that the whole time he's been like quietly stealing, never like anything super big, but like an extra loaf of bread here and there.
Yeah, Azel.
Remember the shipwreck where he definitely took an extra like 30 gold from the shipwreck and was not
Yeah.
intending to return it?
Hated by
Honestly,
Augie.
if Azel catches him taking some, he'd probably take some too.
This is super tempting for half
I
our
want-
party.
You walk through.
then I'm gonna do it.
You guys walk through, passing by staves, spell books, pieces of armor that are just seemingly alive with the gold itself, almost in a form of snakes that are curling themselves into a breastplate form. There's chariots, there's boats that are floating in the air. You guys walk through the path, and May and really going with Furbolg. May and Furbolg continue through. Okay, don't touch anything. May, I'm giving you slight advantage because you are a genie warlock and you have a distinct feeling this is not a good idea.
This has got a very Aladdin feel to it.
And you're walking through, and you hear a crash, and you look back to see Fang, who has picked up just it seems like a simple thing. He's just picked up a simple golden chalice, like not much bigger than could hold a single fluid cup. He just picked it up. It's pretty, isn't it?
Fang, can you put that down? I feel like this is what the con artists would call a honeypot. You don't want to take it. It's going to lead to trouble.
I've
Hazel,
already been in here for 10 trees. I do not want to be in here for any more.
Hazel, you said you would probably grab something if you saw him grab it. Do you want me to roll for you if you choose to do so?
I would probably be pretty good past the gold. I just got this idol thing too, which is pretty nice. But I would be pretty good past the gold. I'd be pretty good past the armor and the stuff. But I'd probably see like a really nice like ring or necklace or some kind of jewelry that he'd be like, oh, that's insane.
There is a golden ring with a with a 1/16 size wand on it, that is just hanging from a chain off of one of the swords in the pathway. Can't pick it up. Fang is going. It says, "Fine, put it back." Drops it back in the horde, and the horde begins to rustle. You see the gold starting to vibrate. The path behind you starting to close as all of the gold seems to pool behind you, and it is approaching fast.
Run!
Okay. Fang, with his own sense of survival, takes off in a dead run as well. Azel, I'm going to assume you run. Are you going to stand to
Yeah.
take it?
No, I'll run.
Classic roguish fashion. Book it.
Bonus
You guys
action dash.
Yeah.
And then
You guys are
action dash.
Out of there. Yeah.
You guys are just going. Azel gets in front of you. He's really hauling. You guys get to the end where the horde seems to end, and there's a big open, about 45-foot space before it looks to be a door, or where there would be a door. You can see a sealed archway. As you get there, the gold keeps coming up. And it stops right at the edge of the space.
That's creepy.
That
What?
is very creepy. I agree.
I thought it was a steal from the rich kind of thing.
Well, this is certainly a rich cavern, so you're not
Ouch.
wrong.
Roll initiative, everybody.
17.
Thought about being a good number.
I got an 8.
Ooh,
I
And
got
it-
a 10.
a
Oh,
10.
wait, we typing.
It's just for my own record keeping, make it easier. Oh, you guys are lucky.
Oh, did I put 8 in my 10?
So the order is Deja, Thurbolg, Azel, Fang, Creature. So as you guys are standing there, all of a sudden, out of the gold springs this huge monstrosity, this seeming tidal wave of gold pieces, armor, weapons, made animate into this humanoid-shaped golem of just a seething golden mass as it steps forward with its arms raised, with chalices and swords and spears embedded in its flesh, as it bellows and begins to step into the area. Now,
So it's a 40-foot diameter area.
so Deja, you are
It's an
the
awfully
first
circular
person in
room.
the initiative order. What would you like to do?
Oh, the curse of being first. You know what? I'm going to cast banishment on it.
Banishment.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
All right. It's a charisma save DC 15.
Let me double check. Charisma save, DC 15.
I assume a golem does not have very good charisma.
Con los fingers.
Yes.
Oh no, this one's kind of showy.
Well,
yeah,
here's the thing.
it's got the bling.
It has magical resistance, and it rolled an 18 on its first roll, and it rolled a 5 on its second. So
Does it
you
make
go
me
to
two
banish
rolls?
it, and you can see its form kind of vibrate, and then it just drops a few layers of gold, kind of shudders a second, and looks straight at you.
Okay. All right. Well, that is perfect. So,
We will assume that we're in a 45-foot circle, with the gold at the southern area where the golem is, and you guys at the northern part of the circle.
okay. How tall is this thing?
It is huge, which means that it's going to be looking about 12 feet tall.
Yeah. So elemental gift, bonus action, flying speed of 30, and I'm going to go up 30 feet. Yeah. And then that will be my turn. I'm going to pull out my whip. Whip in one
Okay.
hand and torch in the other.
Fun. Love it. All right, Furbolg, what would you like to do?
I think it's. Oh, is it me before Hazel?
Yeah,
Hazel got a 10.
you both have the same initiative, but you have a higher dex, so you go first. Per
Oh,
the
okay.
Oh,
DMG.
sorry. No, I rolled a 10. Doesn't matter either way. I just added the numbers wrong.
You added your numbers wrong? Okay, go ahead, Hazel. Let me rewrite that. Go
But I
ahead.
didn't know what I was gonna do.
Oh,
You can hold your
That's
action if you
okay.
prefer.
I mean, kind of
I
what I'm about to do
will-
is based on what I feel about you guys.
Yeah, that's I am gonna run at
Update
this thing and see how daggers do against it.
you can do so.
So I'll throw the daggers, so I won't really get within range of it. But
You're going to throw your fun retrievable daggers. Love it. Go
Uh-huh.
ahead and make your attack rolls.
I've got a 12 and a 17 to hit.
Both of those unfortunately miss. So the 12, as you shoot, it kind of goes up to the gold pieces and buries in and pulls out, and the creature is effective. The 17, it looks like it's gonna bite, and then the last second it hits off of a coin at just the right angle, bing, off at an angle. You use your action to retrieve them, I assume. Your bonus action.
Oh, yeah, they just come back
That's
to me.
right.
Yeah.
On their little filaments they have, their little
Mhm.
retractable daggers. Both hits were close.
Well,
The 17 was close. I'll give you that.
that was all I got. And I'm going to back up again.
All right, Thurbolg.
So I saw two people miss on what they were trying to do and then fly away.
Back up at the very least.
Awesome. Okay. Am I within 30 feet of Deja still?
Yep, I'm 30 feet
Yes,
straight up.
she's 30 feet up. So yes.
Cool. All right. So I'm first going to bonus action wild shape, and I will say, here, I will show you tree and valley. And I use my ring. You see it glow. And instead of turning into a beast, I turn into a huge tree ant.
Huge size,
And
yes.
Tree ants, yeah. And tree ants can speak common. So I say, look, this tree. And I
you'd like that.
cast bless on the three other party members.
Sweet.
All right.
Great use of your tree ant shape. I thought you'd like that magic
Oh, it's,
item for as a Furbolg.
I didn't read it the first time, and I read it the second. I was like, holy shit.
You're welcome.
I mean, I'm
Um,
sorry if this is a non-swearing podcast.
The
Oh,
way we take it is,
not really.
if the shoe fits.
Got you. Trees famously not wear shoes.
All right, you cast
And then
bless.
and then the tree also backs up because I don't want to get hit by this thing.
No one wants to be the one closest to the monster.
Fang will
Fang
be
is
closest.
feeling especially stupid as he usually is.
And now he has bless.
Yes, now he has bless. So you can add a d4 to his attack roll or a saving throw before the spell ends. The spell lasts up to 1 minute. Okay, cool. I said double check the duration. That's all. So Fang, feeling especially bold, is going to take his crossbow, like bunch of pansies, and steps forward with his repeating crossbow and takes his 2 shots. So let me grab the appropriate stuff from my talking with him.
Think you would Eldritch Blast, wouldn't he? Like, he's not
don't-
the crossbow guy that he was.
That's right. He probably gave that to Ramos. You're right. Never mind. So Eldritch Blast. Why not? I just don't have a spell attack modifier off a hand. But I know
I
he
think
is
it's-
rather high.
Yeah, it would be the same as mine,
Yeah,
or I
3
think
or
it's
4.
actually higher.
Plus efficiency.
Cool. Yeah, he takes off his. He takes his sword that he usually has, and dispels it into the air. Hexblade, and he takes his hands, channels himself, fires a huge, Eldritch Blast towards the creature, and unfortunately, rolls a 13. And the creature sees it coming, opens up a hole in his chest. The blast harmlessly passes through. He goes down. And he draws his sword out of the ether and prepares himself.
He gets to shoot 2 blasts.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot Agonizing Blast. Well,
Or-
aren't
yeah.
you guys lucky his second one is at 19?
Yes.
Okay. So he shoots off his Agonizing Blast. That's 9 points of damage. And as the golem opens his chest, missed one, he wasn't expecting 2 to be stacked on top of each other, and it hits it right in the face. You see a bunch of gold spray off the back, and he turns around, and the gold is glowing in one cheek, and the golem turns its attention from Deja, who recently cast a spell, to Fang. And now it's going to charge forward. He's going to take his 2 fists and slam down at Fang. 25 will definitely hit.
Oh, jeez.
And a 19 will definitely hit him since his AC is 16 last time I checked.
Don't kill
Won't kill him.
So he's gone forward. He's now within 15 feet of me.
He is now.
Okay, then I would have used my reaction to do
Do your thing.
attack. Yeah, do my
Okay,
thing.
you can do that. crap, what was it? I gotta roll the attack here. You know what? He's gonna take the average and take combined 27 points of damage out of his 45, I think it is.
Yikes.
The fist slammed down, and for a second, Fang is like, "Come on!" As the two fists slam
Cold
down,
flash
come
everywhere.
back up, and he's bleeding. Goes, "Oh, ow!" As the creature steps back and roars once again at you guys.
All right.
As its attack, what would you like to do?
I'm going to cast Mind Sliver on it as a cantrip. Intelligence saving throw DC 15. I know this is likely not going to work because he's got magic resistance, but I'm hoping.
But he has very low intelligence. Okay. 15, you said?
Yep.
He rolled a 5 and a 7, and he has a -4 to intelligence. What does Mind
Sweet.
Sliver do? Remind me.
It's just a cantrip. It does 2d6 damage, and it subtracts 1d4 from its next saving throw. Next saving throw that it makes before the end of my next turn, which is why I wanted to cast it. Anyways, that is 11 points of damage.
All right. Up next, we have Azel. What are you going to do?
Fang's now next to him.
Fang is technically almost under him at this point.
He's still like
Technically, it has
up,
a
though.
reach of 10 feet, so he's 10 feet away from the creature.
He's 10 feet from the creature or under him?
He's 10 feet in front of it, but he's towering over him.
So
Does sneak attack happen?
I believe for sneak attack to work, Fang has to be within 5 feet of the creature.
Right. That's what I think. Okay.
However, I'm feeling gregarious. If you can
It's kind of nebulous.
actually hit the armor class of this creature, I'll give you your sneak attack because I'm feeling
Okay.
gregarious.
Okay,
Considering it's a
I got
rather
one.
high armor class.
You get that
Alright.
D4.
Alright, got the D4.
Oh, to saving throws. That's my. Oh, right. No,
And
that's right.
bless
and
For
attacks.
the
That's attacks.
bless.
Or
Dang it! I didn't even use. Oh no, that wouldn't affect my save or suck spell.
yeah, it happened after my turn. Okay. Oh, natural 20 plus 2
Hot dang.
plus a lot of
Plus-
whatever I get.
Plus a D4.
Plus 8, I
Natural
think.
20. So you just critted on a sneak attack. Go ahead. While
Oh my
you roll up
gosh.
all those damage, let me explain to Jacob. So we're using the Bill Allen damage alternative scoring system, which says that for crits, you get automatic full dice for the weapon on top of your roll. So if you were rolling a longsword, just a D8, you would roll 8 plus 1D8 plus your modifier.
Gotcha.
It makes
That's
crits
nice.
crazy.
It makes
Yeah.
crits a little punchy.
I've seen too many crits that like damage less than a regular attack. So yeah.
Yeah, that way at least you get the full damage of your weapon plus a little extra. So even if you roll a 1 on a longsword, you get a 9.
So
crit
how does
feels
that
like it did something.
I don't know if I've critted on sneak attack. Is that plus the
So
full
you get
dice for sneak attack?
You would also get 1 extra full D6, yes.
Yeah. So all your dice
Okay.
full plus 1 roll of all your dice.
Enjoy.
jeez.
Yes,
Alright.
this is the thing. It could also wipe you
D4.
out very quickly, which is why I find it incredibly entertaining as a DM.
Oh god. Yeah.
So
I get that.
So my just strategizing meta for a while.
Because you guys
while
are
you're doing the
in
math,
serious danger, I'll allow metagaming this once.
I cast Mind Sliver to get minus D4 to its next saving throw. I'm planning to try and banish this thing again, and I believe that Azel has silvery barbs, which
I
I'm
do.
hoping he's going to use.
I'm ready for your I'm ready for the next failed save. So 45 damage. Now second attack. Always less than
45 before the first attack,
yeah, that's
Um,
just the first.
which is impressive. Just wanted you guys to know that's an impressive amount of damage you got there.
The other one goes way wide. I rolled a 3 on the die.
Yeah. So your first one is great as you jump up and stab it and slide down. You try and go for a second one, but you're sliding just a little bit faster than you anticipated because gold does not present the same resistance as flesh, and as you go to swing again, you just barely miss where you were hoping to land as it passes into empty air. But you see this creature stumble back, and this gash that you've carved into it does not reform. It just kind of sits there, kind of open, and it looks up at you as it's just dribbling gold pieces onto the ground, looking a little upset. Which will take us to Furball. What would you like to do?
So this
Unless
thing's
you have a
made.
bonus action, Azel.
Sorry.
No, you used your bonus action for your second attack. Never
Yeah,
mind. Go
second
ahead.
attack.
All right. So this thing's like just made out of coins and stuff.
Coins and other magical items in its hide, but mostly gold coins.
Cool. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna drop the bless, I guess, so I can cast heat metal at 4th level.
Oh,
waiting for it too.
yeah.
Heat metal at 4th level.
Yeah.
Boy, that's the stuff.
So he's just a hot boy now.
He is. Yes. So
Right,
here,
no save.
an extra D8 per thing.
So
you
it's
get
48.
4d8 fire damage. Go ahead and roll.
I got 20.
Wow. Okay. If this thing had blood, you'd consider it bloodied. If it had
And-
blood.
And now I'm looking at our little friend over here that doesn't look like he's doing as hot as I thought he might be doing. And I come over and kind of position myself in front of the golem to goad his attacks.
Fang looks up and is like, eggs. Ow. So Fang is gonna take his action, and what he's gonna do is he's gonna use his action to once again attempt to cast Eldritch Blast around you. That will hit the first one, and the second one will not. It's really hard to play a character without a player sheet on hand. The first one will hit as it zooms out, and then the other one he's trying not to hit you, so he kind of aims a little too far to the side, unfortunately. And that one is going to do another 9 damage. 95. So, shoots out, burns the thing. It is now glowing red hot. The whole thing is being consumed since it's all mostly metal. A couple of the implements on it that were originally enchanted wood, you can see are heating up. Those pieces that were not magical, you can start seeing to kind of crisp up and burn, which is always exciting to watch that go. And now the creature is going to attack the tree ant in front of him that has cast this spell. As it kind of searches around, not seeing anything else, attempting to cast magic, it looks for the big bad right in front of him. So here he goes. He is going to use his thieving whirlwind. So this creature is going to charge forward towards you and unleash itself into a tornado of flying coins and other implements as it charges towards you. You need to make a DC 17 dexterity saving throw. If you succeed, you take half damage.
You might be surprised.
I
Trees don't
might.
have good decks.
What?
Is it just
the
him or
minus
is it
one.
other?
Oh my
people?
gosh, I got a 17. I got an 18 minus 1.
So it's anyone in a 20-foot radius. So Azel,
Oh.
you would be
Yeah, probably.
taken in on this. I'm purposely avoiding Fang. Because I really feel bad killing someone's character. When
He
they're
is
up here.
being
what?
protected by a tree, right?
You know what? Next
still
turn,
like-
I was gonna try and banish them, but I think I'm gonna polymorph Fang into a giant ape. Give him 157 hit points so he doesn't die.
Yes.
Hey,
I was
that might
going to do
work.
that next anyway if that didn't work. So yeah, so you're good.
So if you made your save, congratulations. Otherwise, you take 60, 10 plus 7 bludgeoning damage. Let me roll that over here as you hear about 18 d10s hit the ground.
Trees actually like bludgeoning damage.
I
so
should
that's
have
good.
made the save. I rolled a natural 18.
Sick.
And when I get to make a save to take half, I take none with my rogue thing.
So you managed to dive and lie flat at just the right moment to avoid getting hit by a flying mace that was supposed to hit you. And you managed to take no damage. Everyone else, the damage rolled was 44. So have that if you made your save.
And if I also have resistance, I get to quarter it, right?
Yes.
Give me some cold damage because I'm resistant to that. Can we have some cold damage?
Maybe. So it's going to continue to swirl itself in the whirlwind, pounding things at you.
I rolled my con save and I got a 7 and a 10, so I barely made it.
For maintaining concentration.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Good
All right,
way to go.
I am going to I'm going to use polymorph. I'm going to polymorph Fang.
Into a gorilla,
into a giant ape.
which gives him a grand total of
157 hit points. You know what? I'll screenshot it, the stat block,
I got
and
it.
I'll send it
I'm
to you.
keeping a long.
just so you know
I'm keeping
what
a
to-
note.
Cool. Yeah, 157 hit points and the two attacks. This will make things easier for you. You won't have to worry about spells. And he might be mildly more intelligent than Fang is normally. So
Considering
yeah.
Fang was the intelligent one of the group for a whole like 8 sessions. Nope, Fang is still smarter than it, just barely.
Oh, okay.
All right, I got the stat block. All right.
So use polymorph. So that's my last spell slot. So where's the position of everyone right now? So the monster just kind of flew.
The monster
in a
is
whirlwind.
roughly in the center of the circle. Treant is directly in front of it. Fang is about, let's say, 10, 15 feet behind the Treant, currently transformed into a giant ape and looking very confused. It's an unusual experience for him. He's never been
Fang
polymorphed
smash.
before. Azel was just the side of the Treant and kind of dived a little bit to get out of the way of a flying bit of craziness. So we'll say that you're catacorner to the northwest. And I assume that you're straight up from where you guys started, basically above Fang.
Right. So it's more or less the monster is surrounded by my compatriots. He's not going to likely be moving too much.
It's currently in a whirlwind form, so yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can't do anything. I can't really position myself to use my reaction or my attack of opportunity to do any more damage because he's more or less going to be stationary. You know, I'll pull back a little bit so that he's at the edge of my 15-foot threat range and just kind of stay there. And I don't have any bonus. Don't have many bonus action things that I can do. So I'm just I cast polymorph. That's my thing. I can maintain concentration from up here pretty easy.
Okay. Then we're going to go to Furbolg as the Treant of Great Doom and Destruction. What would you like to do on this hot tornado?
Me or Azel?
Sorry, Azel, pardon me.
Okay, hot tornado. I'm using my thrown daggers because I don't want to touch it. I'm going to attack again.
Do it.
Molten gold. Dribbling on top of your daggers. Oh, they're going to be golden daggers now.
No more bless.
No more bless.
No more bless.
18?
18 is the exact AC.
I knew 17 miss and 19 hit. I wasn't sure about 18. Perfect.
I always let you guys know if you get it exactly.
And someone's still near him.
Giant ape is near it.
Giant ape is near it.
Treant is the closest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently caught in the whirlwind, so it's definitely within range of 5 feet.
Good.
All the sneak attack dice.
What a tune.
Because for the whirlwind to work, he has to literally be touching like directly. So yeah.
18 damage. That ought to be. Yeah, I'm just gonna attack again with the thrown dagger.
All right. Do it.
Natural 20.
Ooh, sweet.
You're lucky today.
But that's on the not sneak attack.
Sneak attack set you up perfectly for a great stab.
So that's a solid 7.
All right.
I think I'm kind of happy where I am. I'm just gonna off to the side of them.
Yeah. You're throwing your daggers, and since it is been heated in metal, your daggers are coming back slightly gilt at this point, like in little patches. There's a little bit of gilding on them.
Okay.
It's kind of pretty. Kind of looks like a Pinto, if you will, but made with gold. That kind of like irregular spotting. All right, go for Bulk.
All right, I use bonus action to re-damage with heat method.
Yes.
Oh, 23.
Mm. And okay. This thing is just seething in heat as it is whirlwinding.
You will not take me down this time, stupid gold. And I'm going to slam him with my tree arms.
Go ahead.
That was a nat 1. So I miss.
No.
You
It was a
calling
nat 1
out to
plus 10, though. Does that count?
it would not hit.
Got you. I have 2 slam attacks, though. Can I
Yes.
use my second one? Okay.
It's usually how it works. Slam text, unless you happen to be a sludge.
Oh, and that was only a 13. So my tree arms do not. I am not used to tree form.
Yeah, it's just a little bit slower than you anticipated, and so since you kind of called the gold creature out before you attacked, it saw it coming a little bit, kind of making little openings in this form to avoid getting swiped.
Next time, I don't count chickens before hatch.
Fang is just looking around. And he's not entirely certain what's going on. All he knows is he feels really strong. Really
The tree
strong.
points at the gold monster.
He reaches down, pick up one of the rocks that's near the entrance, and he's going to throw it at this creature. Hot dang, that will hit. For a grand total of 76 plus 6. Oh my word.
Or he could do 2 fist attacks. But I don't think he wants to have gold-covered paws.
Yeah. The rock slams into the gold, and as you see it pass through him, on the other side, it's completely covered as he deals 30 points of bludgeoning damage to it, taking out a ton of gold pieces. And you can see this thing has lost a significant amount of its form at this point. It's just less of a huge tornado and more of like a dust devil at this point. It is going to, again, in its whirlwind form, it's going to continue using its whirlwind form for one more round, and it's going to surge forward into the tree ant and attempt to also hit Fang. Looking through my stuff.
Giant ape.
Yep, it's going to hit the giant ape, which is going to have to make a dexterity saving throw. Again, the DC is 17, which you'll have to remake this to take half damage.
I did not make that.
Giant ape. It's not
It's
going
not
to
a
make
DC 5, is it?
No.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, no.
Okay. Then I didn't make it.
You sure? Well, be glad he's a giant ape because it deals 40 points of bludgeoning damage, slamming into you guys. It doesn't feel good, especially since it's burning hot gold. It has a slight bit of searing. So 40 points of bludgeoning damage plus 1d4 of heat. Just 4 points of heat damage since it's now on fire.
I'm glad I made Fang into a giant ape.
Yes.
So wait, so that was fire damage because I'm resistant to bludgeoning, but I'm susceptible to fire. So,
Yeah, so
I'll double
44, 4 of which is fire.
Got you. So 28. That's fun math.
Hey.
Half of one, double the other. But at least you got half of the majority one.
Fang's ape shape is looking a little torn up. He's missing some fur. There's a little bit of blood from one side of his face, but he's looking angry as always. Deja, it is your turn.
And what to do? So what is the terrain like around here? There's a dome. This is a dome, right? Like the other rooms?
It's a similar dome structure, much higher ceiling. Although it seems like the room it's considerably larger. You
Okay.
can't even see the far end of it, but this particular area side of the dome is 45 feet in diameter.
Okay.
With the pile of gold creating a semicircle at the base.
So I'm more or less right above the monster now, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to move 15 feet over to the other side, and I'm going to do an Eldritch Blast attack on this thing.
Okay, go ahead and roll to hit.
All right, so 2 attacks. I've got a 17 and a 23.
How do you want to do this?
So it's gonna die?
With your modifier and the amount of HP it has left, you're gonna kill it with a 23. What would you like to do?
Hmm.
It's my only Mount Mercerism for those listeners that are paying
Melting,
attention.
Yeah. You know what? I think this is the first time you've ever asked me to do this.
It's usually Fang who gets the honor.
Yeah, he gets the kill. All right.
or like
So
motto.
I'm gonna she's hovering up in the air right above like the gold pile. Her eyes flare white and ooze the silvery mist. And then her Superman style, like 2 beams of Eldritch Blast come out of her eyes, zap this thing, pull it up into the air ever so slightly, smash it down to the ground, and it explodes in a pile of coins, a la Scott Pilgrim,
I got you.
and
Yes.
ding, 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 and it's gone.
Fantastic. You also get the slight feeling you might need to level up when you leave the dungeon. Fantastic.
Ding, 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 ding,
Love
ding,
it.
ding, 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 ding,
It
ding,
disappears
ding.
into a pile of gold,
Yeah.
just kind of sitting on the floor. Door opens.
Do we feel like we could take some gold now?
You get the feeling you might be able to take some gold from where the golem fell.
Hmm.
You're all
Alright.
still feeling particularly like you shouldn't touch the actual piles, but the gold that came from the golem seems to be safe.
All right, so here's the deal, everyone. You know what? I'm going to take the magnifying glass, which I should have done as soon as we came into this room, and look at everything.
One
The
time.
one time you didn't use it today.
Yeah,
I
was
noticed
the
that
pile
too.
of treasure.
I'm going to look for like what is maybe there's something safe here, something not.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's very apparent that whatever you have on you from swiping, Azel, and the gold that came from the golem are now considered safe.
Okay, so how much gold is it?
5,000 gold pieces.
All right, that's a lot of gold to carry around.
It's roughly closer to 500 gold pieces since it's in terms of like shape, because some are extremely thick, some of it's platinum. Yeah, it's like
I'm not sure if you can tell, but Firbolg could carry lots of things if need to.
it's 500 coins that are remaining since a
Okay.
lot of it was kind of scattered, but its equivalent worth is 500 gold pieces.
Okay, and there was
5,000,
some
I should say.
armor and other stuff, right?
That
Azel's
was blown away in various parts during the battle.
Okay, very
Mm.
convenient.
Azel's
The pieces that are remaining that aren't magical pieces of armor and whatnot, other pieces of gold and whatnot, help add to that grand total of 5,000 gold pieces.
So 5,
Copper,
right.
silver, gold, works of art, platinum,
All right.
just mundane but otherwise ornate pieces of weaponry.
nothing is magical anymore.
All right.
That's
so
fine.
just split it up then.
5,000 divided by 4, let you do your math. Fori speaks into you. And so now you've learned discipline, haven't you? Fidelity, courage, discipline. Shall we? Oh, not to mention perseverance.
Azel's looking kind of guilty as his mage hand is picking through all of the like steaming gold bits to find all these like
The slag.
discipline. Got it. Totally got discipline.
The ironic part is the person with a god attached to their head is the one who did the stealing. Him and Fang.
Mhm.
So yeah, Azel would try to pick out any rings or necklaces.
The
or
ring that you
whatever.
grabbed is completely safe to use.
He would just bling himself out with extra rings. He'd make sure he's got one on every finger.
Yeah.
If
That
there's
ring
enough.
is considered a ring of magic missile.
Ooh.
Yeah,
wonder what
it
it's used for.
essentially gives you a ring that functions as if it is a wand of magic missile. So you can look at the stats for a wand of magic missile, but it exists as a ring on
Got
your
it.
hand. It works as its own spell focus.
Sweet.
If you attune to it, you can use it as your general spell focus, if you so choose.
It's super convenient to have a ring that is also a spell focus.
I've already got one of those. But he's just about being covered in jewelry. He just like
Blingy, blingy,
stealing the
blingy,
jewelry
blingy.
off people is where he got his very
Classic
started.
rogue.
Mhm.
You guys gather your stuff, you proceed through the next door, and you guys come through into a room with a roaring fireplace on the western side. That's cast. Then there is a large door facing the fireplace in the middle of the room, not attached to anything, just in the middle of a door frame, casting a shadow on the eastern wall. As you guys are looking around, you'll notice that inscribed on the door is the word, "Truth is not always what it seems." And you'll notice that on the wall next to the shadow cast by the door is a key. Upon further investigation of the room, you'll find that this key does not seem to have a keyhole that it fits, as the door in the middle of the room does not have a keyhole, but is locked.
Am I still in tree form? Or did I have to change back to fit through the door?
You could crawl through if you wish to stay in tree ant form.
I'm going to stay
However,
in tree ant form.
you're going to be filling the room actively.
That's fine.
I absolutely reduced concentration on Fang. He's not going to be wandering around in a giant ape. It only lasts for an hour, I think. Actually,
You
no,
can leave
yeah,
him in
I
giant
think
ape for now.
yeah,
He's
leave
finding
him
it
as a giant ape.
kind of liberating,
Mhm.
I
scratching
imagine
himself in unmentionable places.
him absolutely loving hanging from the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's riding the tree ant. Like,
He's
this is
just
fun.
right at home.
He's having a great time.
so there's a door in the middle of the room that's casting a shadow onto a wall. There's a key, but the door does not have a keyhole. The door happened to be on a rotating platform.
It is not.
Oh.
Basil's gonna look expectantly at May and kind of like nod toward your
Yeah.
glass and be like,
I'll take a look
Come
at
on.
the room through the glass.
You don't see anything ethereal. You don't see any illusions. You notice that the glass, well, it usually kind of has like a small sparkle around the outside edge when it's working, seems to be rather mundane in here.
I think this might be another one of those anti-magic rooms. I think we're meant to puzzle this out rather than use gadgetry to do so.
If it's an anti-magic room, I would be out of wild shape.
It takes you a minute since your magic is divine instead of arcane, but then you start to slowly kind of shape back.
All right.
And Fang pops out of the ape form in midair and falls a little bit. He looks a little disturbed, and he's like, "I was starting to imagine I'd flee." So
Does it look like we could move the fireplace at all?
it's embedded in the wall. Classic fireplace.
Gotcha.
The door. I'm gonna investigate the door. Take a look
Very
at
good.
it. See what's going
You
on.
notice that the door has a door handle on both sides. There is no keyhole, but it is locked. You can see that there are hinges that appear to have it swing from the shadowed side away towards the fire. And you notice that it says on the door frame itself, it just keeps saying the same phrase: "Truth is not always what it seems."
I'm gonna open the door.
It's locked.
If only that would have worked.
You could try though.
Well,
Well,
you
it
know,
seems
sometimes the
locked.
obvious thing is the right thing. You know, we got to try it.
I'm gonna try pushing instead of pulling or whatever he was doing, but the opposite.
You guys
Just to
take a
make
couple
sure.
minutes trying, pushing and pulling from each side of the door. It still is locked and does not move.
Can I walk over and cast a shadow, or put myself between the fireplace and the door? And see what happens.
You cast a shadow on the door, but when you move to the side of the door, you notice you do not cast a shadow on the far wall.
Azel's gonna confidently walk directly into the wall where the shadow is.
You bounce off the wall after bumping your nose. You don't take damage, but your pride's a little hurt.
So
Damn, I was feeling good about
You
that.
knock the key off of its hook and it clatters onto the ground.
the door doesn't
The
have
key's hook is definitely outside of the shadow, if that helps you.
the key's hook
The hook
outside
that
of
the key was on is outside
Okay.
of the shadow,
Okay,
I'm gonna-
so I don't cast a shadow when I'm in front of the fire.
unless you're directly casting one on the door.
My shadow only works on the door.
Correct.
Can I take the key and cast a shadow of it onto the door?
The key does cast a shadow onto the door.
Can I pretend unlock it with the key shadow? Can somebody try opening the door?
I tried to open the door.
Door swings open.
There we go.
Azel tries to confidently walk into the wall again.
You now can pass through the wall.
I
All
got it,
right,
guys.
woo!
I knew.
We
I
figured it
knew it.
out.
That took you at least 10 minutes less than I thought it would. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I thought it had to be a shadowy thing.
I was gonna try to move the fireplace to change where the shadow was, so I kind of had
Yeah.
the idea.
I thought that so that's why I was asking if the door like rotates around. Maybe we move the door around and cast the shadow on a different side, or move the fireplace. But
Other ways it
apparently,
could have gone.
a shadow key is apparently how you unlock the door. All right, gentlemen, after you.
You continue through the next hallway with its glowing runners, and you come out in front of another chasm. After a simple test with Sir Fen, you find another simple anti-magic field is preventing you from crossing this chasm using clever magics. However, there is a simple tightrope in front of you that goes across the chasm. A simple kind of 3-step rope bridge with one for walking and 2 on each side for your hands, with no real supports in between of the 3 ropes. And there is a small stone sign on the front of it that says, "Only the penitent and the just shall pass."
Uh-oh.
You notice on the far side of the chasm is another one of those levers.
The penitent
Another-
and the just.
Did my character back 1,000 years ago see any Indiana Jones movies?
Um,
Only the
what's your
penitent man.
intelligence for
Penitent
your
man,
foregold?
penitent man.
You would remember stories of a strange treasure hunter named Indianan. He was a halfling. He liked to get into trouble. He told stories of all of his different adventures. Also, with a 10, you would know what the word penitent means.
Oh yeah, I should probably Google penitent.
So, my hint to you guys, since I for brevity of time today, is think about your alignment.
Yeah. All right.
Your alignment and your actions over the last few weeks.
That's outdated.
All right. May's feeling super guilty. I guess. I don't know. May Deja, can you come out? I don't feel so comfortable doing this. And she's like, "Nope. You can stay up. You can stay up front. I'm not coming out." All right. Someone else is gonna have to do this.
For what it's worth, I was sad for about 1,000 years.
Oh yeah. I guess you don't have much history, but we're metaing. Meta-wise or unmeta-wise, Azel would probably be the best person to do this. He's probably got the best dexterity and ability to traverse a rope bridge.
Yeah.
Azel, what is your alignment?
My alignment, certainly chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
I think good. I think he lives by his morals. You know, he doesn't just steal from little old ladies. He steals from rich scumbags that he perceives, at least.
Or giant rooms full of treasure that are just hoarding them.
Yeah, you know, not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
He wouldn't want to hurt anybody that didn't like have it come. So, you know, it's kind of iffy. Certainly chaotic. Got that one for sure.
As you guys are all talking over Shiko, you're going to hear Fori's voice. Only the honorable and the humble can cross over my bridge. Encourage you to step lightly, Azel. Since only Azel can hear it.
Yeah. All right. Foray's talking to me again. We gotta be honorable. Heart. We gotta. This one's gonna be tough, guys.
Fang looks at you guys and goes, "I'm not going out there."
Normally I would do this, but a couple days ago I condemned a woman to death to save my friends. So, Deja doesn't really feel like doing this either. I don't know, Mr. Furbolg, you feel like giving this a try? Maybe attach a rope to you and let you go, just in case.
It's fine. I could go.
Jacob, your character's alignment is
Neutral good.
okay. Go ahead.
All right.
So I'll attach my 50-foot rope to her. Well,
Your dexterity is 14.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be able to get past this. You're a
Alright.
druid and you're a furbolg. You're used to being in the forest and walking along tree branches and whatnot.
I could even become tree branch if needed.
You move forward, take your hands on the handrails,
Hmm.
and start to walk. To you, the feels strangely stable, almost like you're walking on a stone bridge, even though you can see clearly it's just rope. But it doesn't sway, it doesn't bounce, and you're able to walk across without incident.
Ta-da!
Why don't you pull that lever now, and maybe that'll extend a bridge for the rest of us to cross?
Sure, that seems like a good idea. I grab the lever and I pull.
Click. The rope bridge detaches and falls into the chasm as a gentle, shimmering blue fog rises to fill the chasm up to the edge of the lip that you guys are on, crossing all the way to the other lip smoothly.
Sweet. I'll
No.
tap my foot on it.
Yeah.
It's very bouncy.
Boing, boing. All right.
Okay, Azel's gonna see that it's bouncy and he's gonna back up a bit and he's gonna do some kind of like
Cartwheel.
cartwheels on like across it, like use it like a springboard.
Yeah,
Of
so
course
this is
you are.
like
It's kind of a
a
gymnast.
trampoline gym.
Yeah.
Do flips and such.
Fang, unfortunately, is lacking the coordination since he's a very low dex to do all the fun stuff that you guys are having with your jumping. He actually crosses on his hands and knees because he's feeling particularly unstable with this whole situation.
Probably doesn't help that we're bouncing right next to him.
Yeah, he's like,
Like, getting popped
stop.
up.
Double bounce
Like,
him.
Like standing on a
Volume.
trampoline when other people are like
he gets to the other side, kisses
jumping
the
out.
ground gently, and gets up. I can't stand it when they have fun. All right, congratulations. And you hear Fori's voice come through. Honor. Continue. You guys continue on, and you find yourself in a room bathed with cold white blue light. And in the middle of the room sits an old man in a chair surrounded by a icy wind that seems to be blowing in from somewhere. He's just sitting there in the middle of the room, looking at you, wrapped in tattered furs, his long, scraggly beard kind of blowing gently in the wind, his wind-weathered face scrunched up. Please, if you could spare food and warmth for an old man. Please.
I cast Goodberry.
No, wait. Look at it with
Okay.
a magnifying glass.
He's an
I
old
still
man.
cast Goodberry.
confirm.
Goodberry pops up. You get the nice little plant that grows out of the stone. 4 berries hanging off the end of the tip of it. So it's kind of bent down with the weight of them.
So
I
he's
got up
just
and picked them up.
Azel's backing away because until the man spoke, he was getting ready to walk up to it and wave his hand in front of its eyes again. He's like, oh, okay.
All right,
Backs up.
says Fang as he kind of walks past him.
All right, so I carry my good berries to him, and in my other hand, I produce a flame because it seemed like it was cold.
Thank you.
And I
He takes a good
drop a
berry
Goodberry.
and he eats it. You get see him kind of look up at the fire, and you actually see the wrinkles on his face soften a little bit. It's been some time since I have seen someone who offers true hospitality.
Well, I have been gone for 1,000 years, so I understand.
Ahead is your final test. Azel, as my high priest, you must take the center door. And you see 3 doors appear before you. 4 doors. Azel, as my high priest, you must take the center left. Arrange yourselves however you wish, but pass through the doors. That will take you to your final test.
All right. The voice says I gotta take center left, but everyone else is free to.
It wasn't the voice, it was the
Take
man
their
sitting in
own.
the chair.
Oh, there was a man sitting in the chair.
Who says this and then vanishes, leaving the chair empty.
Oh,
And you guys can feel all of your weapons kind of buzz for 2 seconds. And one of your weapons now becomes a +2 weapon, one of them, for
okay.
our druid who actually gave him the food.
All right.
Druid gets +2, everyone else's weapons hum, and then nothing seems to happen.
Okay.
Anybody want my staff?
Nah, I think y'all get better use out of it than us.
This is like a 1 per door situation.
1 person per door.
And there's 3 doors and 4 of us.
There's 4 doors, 4 people.
Okay.
Fang says,
right.
okay, walks through his.
Is it stage left or our left?
Once Fang walks through the one on the far right, there's just 3 doors available, and Azel takes the center one.
All right. Well, I'll just take the one on the right then. Unless you want it.
That doesn't matter to me. I'll take far left.
You pass through
Right.
your individual doors. As you guys walk through, it feels almost like you're falling through water. It's almost like you jumped into a pool face first for a second, and then you come through the other side, and you find yourselves inside of a simple stone cage, the door sealed behind you. You're each in your own individual hallway that is made of some sort of green transparent glass. You cannot hear the people next to you, but you can see them. At the end of your hallways, you can all see what looks to be a black rune on a wall-mounted pressure plate.
But I can see everybody else, right?
You can see everyone else.
Hey. I wave.
I wave back.
Say hi.
Yeah.
They can't hear us or
hear each
can't
other.
hear each other.
Unless
I
anyone has
presume.
awakened mind. What would you like to do?
So was it a pressure plate?
There's a
At the
pressure
end?
plate at the end of each of your
At
hallways,
each one.
and you're in a simple stone cage.
Can
I will say that for May, as you take out your magnifying glass and look around, there is no enchantments on the cage at all. It seems to be simple stone bars.
I wonder if this is the prisoner's dilemma. There's only one pressure plate, right?
There's one at the end of each of your hallways.
All right. We'll walk over. I'll walk towards it and investigate it.
You're stuck inside your cage. So you walk towards the edge of the cage. You can look. You see it's a simple rune on a pressure
Okay.
plate, but you're stuck
Okay,
inside
so-
of a simple stone cage.
Oh.
We're in a simple stone cage. The other side of the hallway is a pressure plate. So
You're
how
each in your
what's the
own
distance?
individual cages in your own
Okay.
individual hallways, but you can see
Okay,
each other through the
okay.
glass
I-
walls.
Got it.
Can I Misty Step out of my thing?
You cast Misty Step and bamf right over to your pressure plate.
Sweet.
I will.
All right.
How big is the gap between the bars? Can a
4
cat fit
inches.
through them? Cats are
A
skinny.
cat could fit through them.
I will turn into a cat and wander through.
Hashtag witch ring coming in clutch.
It's very
Uh,
useful.
You wander through as a cat and get over to your pressure plate. As you each individual, do you guys touch them?
Before I do anything, I kind of look over to them and get their attention, and I point, and then I do thumbs up, thumbs down.
I would try to wait to see, because is it just Fang now? Who hasn't gotten out?
Fang is actively hacking at his, and taking chunks out of it. He's gonna be able to get through, but it's gonna take him a round or two to cut his way through this cage.
I might try to help him, like, use a lever or something to, like, break it a bit more in a
Can't
more
get over to his
civilized
hallway.
way.
He has to break through it his own.
Oh, right. Okay, we're still in our own hallways. Okay.
Knocks
do the
down
ca-
enough bars to kind of push through. He walks up and he pushes his pressure plate. And you hear, dun,
All right.
Okay, I'd press mine.
dun,
I'll misty step over and do the same.
dun,
And then I'll press mine.
dun, dun. I couldn't help myself. You guys press your pressure plates all together. Small trapdoor opens up underneath you. You all fall
fall.
through into another room.
Plonk.
In this
Are we-
room,
Are we together?
all
we
together,
still-
same room.
Oh, good.
Okay.
As you guys fall into this room, you have the strangest sensation. Everyone roll a Constitution saving check as you are now stuck in a 0 gravity environment.
Constitution.
10 to keep your lunch.
Oh,
Okay,
I got
rolled
9 plus 1.
15.
16.
The days of Thomas are gone.
Thomas, what was that?
Oh, the days of Thomas are gone. Of throwing
I'm
up every
sorry.
time that.
Basil. If I keep doing that, yell at me.
Oh, you've been good. Oh, I got 15.
Okay, you all managed to deal with the queasiness of not having gravity pulling on your body for a second. You guys will notice as you look around, this room is filled with a light fog. It obscures you. So what you can really see mostly is shadows of each other. If you get more than a few feet away, you're
I can see
suspended
in
in
the
a zero
fog.
gravity environment. You can see in fog that you create, I believe.
No, any fog.
Great. Well, you can see everyone else is having some trouble. Um,
Well, you see Azel's flipping in the anti-gravity.
Yeah.
um,
and
You also
enjoying it.
notice as you attempt to speak to each other that there is a silence spell cast on the whole room, so you find it unable to talk to each other, at least verbally.
All
So
right.
if you're going to communicate, make sure you tell me which hand signals you're going to use. You'll notice that there is a pressure plate on each of the 4 walls: north, south, east, west. They're all slightly offset from each other, not directly apart. There's none on the floor or the ceiling. The trapdoors close above you. What do you do?
I am going to activate my elemental gift and get a flying speed of 30 and then zoom over and grab everybody and put them next to a pressure plate.
Okay.
I go along, I guess.
So we're all
As I get close to them, I'll like grab on their shoulders and like bring them over to a pressure plate, and I'm gonna like put up my hands and like wait.
Can
and
we see
then
him?
You are having trouble seeing anything but except for a shadow, but he can all see you.
I'll put
Okay.
my hand up right next to it and like we're gonna get really close. I'm gonna get into the bubble, the personal space bubble here, and I'm gonna let him know. Hey, the hand signal is like wait, like no, cross arms, no touch yet, and then I'm gonna position everybody in their spots, and then I don't know how we're gonna coordinate. We can't see each other.
You can see them, they can see vague shadows. It's as if
Okay.
you're in dim light with a slight bit of obscurement.
All right, and then I don't know how we're gonna coordinate this. Verbal.
I have one spell
Somatic.
that's not verbal, and it's Mold Earth.
Verbal.
Brad starts going through all of his spells.
Verbal
Well, but
Is
these
there
are
somatic.
water in
verbal.
here? Because I can shape water. That's about it. That's about it.
The fog is made of water, but that's pretty much all there is.
I shape the
Guys,
fog.
If you manage to take some of it and create a 2-foot orb, the fog thins a little bit and you're able to see each other a little bit more clearly. Now you can make each
Alright.
other out as shadows.
All right.
The orb
Oh.
floats gently in the zero gravity.
Then I'll like do a countdown.
Yeah, can we see each other well enough to like see like an arm
Yeah, you
raised
can see
versus
well enough to
not?
see a large signal. Something like a finger might be difficult to make
Yeah,
out,
but
but
like
like
a
a
dropping an arm
huh,
like a start of a race or
oof,
something.
yeah,
Like,
I'll
some
do
sort of
the
drop of the arm.
I'll do the move from the end of the Breakfast Club. Whoa, arm up and freeze frame, and that's the signal to go.
All right, y'all attempt to push off of your pressure plates. Deja, with your flying speed, you're able to push off and hear an audible click. Everyone else, when you push off of the wall, being in 0G, you find that you aren't able to supply
can't
enough
push hard
force
enough?
to trigger the pressure plate, but you do find yourself accelerating towards the opposite wall. And as y'all kind of pass each other in the middle of the air, just barely avoiding a collision. I won't make you dex save since you're not used to zero gravity. As Asia and Fang go below, and Furbolg and Azel pass each other side by side. It's really terrifying as you all suddenly are really close to each other. You slam into the wall a little bit harder than you were intending, and everyone takes 2 points of damage. It seems that you were accelerated really rapidly and hit the wall.
You know, I'm just gonna fly around and hit all the buttons.
You'll find that as you tap each one, it clicks, but as you fly away from it, you can see after about a half a second, it unclicks from the wall.
Okay, then I'm gonna just start throwing people at their walls
Yeah,
with their pressure plates.
I'm gonna like kick off the wall and like start kicking back and forth off like parallel walls to try to get some
Ooh.
speed. And then
You find that solution is effective
okay.
to
So
get
we
in
need to
enough
time
momentum to
it.
trigger the plate.
So
I
I'll
assume I'm big enough to
just
just
keep
do it
doing
once.
that. I'll just keep
seem to be
doing
big enough
that.
to do what?
So
Jacob?
I'm just gonna push off the opposite wall once. I'm not gonna do a bouncy thing. Firbolg is
Yeah.
not in the mood for
Yeah.
bouncy.
And I'll throw Fang at his pressure plate.
Okay.
Nice.
yeah, I'll just kind of keep doing mine so that people can never like a repeated predictable timing. So everyone else can kind of just coordinate with my kind of going
Bouncing.
back and forth.
It takes a second to coordinate it, and it takes you 2 more tries because you're trying to throw Fang. It takes a little travel time.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of time to coordinate, but you guys get it down after a minute, and you all leap across from your opposite edges. Fang gets thrown, and you hit your thing, and with your combined momentum, you all hit your pressure plates. Gravity returns, and you all fall 4.5 feet to the ground. The fog begins to dissipate, and you hear Fori's
We have
voice.
solved your fog puzzle.
You have demonstrated great industriousness. A door opens on the side that Fang's pressure plate was on. Oh, great! Come on. He walks through,
All right.
Let's do
and
this
he
thing.
takes you guys through, and you guys come into one last room. In this room is filled with carvings and hieroglyphics, and the longer you look, you start to notice that the hieroglyphics are definitely moving. It's almost like a early film reel. Does anyone have religion or arcana as not arcana, religion or
have-
history as a proficiency?
No.
Nope.
The only intelligence one I have is investigation.
I have animal
Well,
handling.
I think we've gone through all of the.
I will take investigation if you
one.
want to.
Oh sure. I think we've gone through all of the other intelligence ones with
I have
no one else
insight.
having any of it.
Yeah.
I only have wisdom-based ones, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, the only person in our group that has an intelligence-based skill
Proficiency.
is Azel with his investigation. We have no knowledge skills whatsoever.
You aren't
Sounds
very
about right.
bookish.
Books
Oh,
for nerds.
But I got a natural 20 plus
So-
5.
Sweet.
you're sitting there thinking about it when it clicks in your brain. This
How did
must
this
be
die?
the history of the Formar people. After you kind of look at it and see how the comic reel kind of works, you're looking across it and you see how the story is progressing. You see the Formar people as they are now, very primitive, kind of Aztec Mayan levels technology. You see them developing, creating advanced technology, flying contraptions, mechanized creatures, advanced magic, beautiful to behold. And you see the god Fori symbolized by that same sun symbol that you have on your medallion. You see his hand reach out and smite them down as they grow full of hubris. You see the destruction of their ancient city, which sinks into the sea, creating a jagged, tooth-like gap at the very edge where the outer seawall was, creating a natural harbor. You see a group of Formar survivors that seem to be led by some sort of glowing avatar, leading them into the jungle, teaching them their elemental magic that they still use, and is teaching them how to live. You see them interacting with the folk of the Therayan Valley, treating them as monsters and attacking them, and you see the Formar driving themselves underground for their own survival. And you see the Formar sending out emissaries, dressed as almost Bedouin-like garb in caravans to go and seek out those who may have been open to their faith and bringing them back to the Therayan Valley. And as you watch, you also begin to see a gentleman wearing an advanced set of combat armor, carrying what looks to be a syllabus in his hand, talking with a master. You see a half-orc and a human, and you see 2 Tuatha. You see them running, fighting monsters, invading a building that resembles the Mages Guild back in the valley. You see the huge battle they fought against the Beakek Bane, and you see your guys' flight outside the wall, the battle with the Empress, and that's where it seems to end. Jacob,
Yeah.
you recognize
Uh,
these monsters. The Furbolg fought many battles in an attempt to purge them from the forest, each time believing they had done so only to find them spring up again. These are Beakek, These are ancient, bloodthirsty monsters that seem to pass on a parasitic bite to all those around them. But for magic users, the fate is even worse as it seems to transform them into some sort of hideous creature that while magic users can control the parasitic action of the bite, it does completely change their soul, driving them into madness and evil and megalomania very swiftly.
Does it seem like this is like a history of the battles with these creatures?
It seems to be a living history of the Foramar. And the more you look at it, the more it keeps showing you things like showing the history of the Furbolg. It's almost like whoever's looking at it sees their own history connected to the Foramar history.
Mm.
You see the Furbolg people fighting battles against the Beikek, their numbers dwindling down. You see the last clan retreating into the far north after slaying what they believe to be the last Beikek. And you see a small dark seed festering in the forest as they leave.
This not good news, everybody.
Are these those monsters y'all have been telling us about?
Yes, it looks like the Beikek to me.
That's what we're up against.
The old one, the Twathan elder, told us that they had been around for centuries, or some folk tales, perhaps. Do you know more of these, Jacob?
Who's Jacob?
No. Do you know more of these, Furbo? I'm sorry. I was thinking of one of my friends, Jacob. He's very furry. I'm not certain why.
Was he also blue?
You know, I can't say that he was. Except for if you mean in the metaphysical sense. It's a new word I've been learning from this book I got from the library. Metaphysical.
We were trying to rid world of these creatures. They do nothing but bad things. It looked like we were not successful.
You all hear the voice that has been pounding through Azel's head, the same voice from the old man that's sitting in the chair. You have proven yourselves bastions of my way. Formare sent out one. You've proven yourselves to possess each of the noble virtues: honor, perseverance, fidelity, courage, industriousness, discipline, truth, hospitality, and self-reliance. So, I will send you. The world is dark. The darkness seeps from the valley ahead. Some ancient evil is melding itself with the magic that the people there use. A perversion, really, of Fori's breath, my breath. They are twisting things as they should not be. So, I offer you this. Go forth. Smite this evil from my lands. You will be my heralds. And you see four beams of light descend real quickly and coalesce into this glowing white spark of light about a foot in diameter that floats down and hovers just in front of you.
Do you know what happened to my people?
Your clan is gone, but the Furbolgi do survive to the far north. They are few, but they live.
I will find them.
Mm. Will you accept my blessing as my bastions?
I think Azel would just kind of walk up to the glowing orb and I mean, you kind of poke at it. Get kind of not quite sure what to do with it, but just kind of like open himself to it.
Reach out and touch it, Bell.
Well, your Majesty, your godliness, will accepting this boon make the valley safe for my people, for those that are persecuted on the other side of the wall.
My children are found all over your valley, within Threya, the land of my children, the Foramar. And I do believe Even among the Belorans, there are some that hear my call. Yes, darkness always consumes when left unabated.
My only concern is for the people, my people, and I do not want to see them hurt anymore. And I know this valley is a place where the magical gifts are accepted, and I just need to know, am I going to be able to save them? Are they going to be safe here?
Nothing is already written. Your actions will determine much. Now, pardon me, now, you'll find that uncertainty follows you wherever you go, but persecution will not exist in the same way. That is true. Especially if you were to meet with one of my prior bastions, the one who resides underneath the guild. You should ask Fang about the bullywump. Fang
That's
looks
good
around and
enough
goes,
for me.
"It's a long story, I'll tell you later."
All right, bro. I guess that's good enough for me.
Alright, what do you do?
Then she goes and accepts the light.
As you touch it, it spreads along your entire body, glowing bright light white before blinking you out of the room. Does anyone else take it?
Yeah, Azel's taking it. He's not really sure how to do it, so he just kind of pokes at it
He
and then
kind of walks
probably gets
into it.
plucked away. Yeah. He kind of just
Uh,
closes his eyes and just like walks until it.
Fang literally like covers his eyes with his hand and reaches forward and grabs it. This will be interesting.
Before I accept, sir, were you the reason I was petrified?
Your friends did try to return. Unfortunately, they returned after their souls had already been corrupted by many deeds. I could no longer allow them into my sanctuary.
1,000 years?
I did allow you to be unpetrified. It is unfortunate how long it took before another party found my sanctuary.
I will take this boon. I will kill the evil. But you are still on my list. And I grab the light.
You hear a round, just huge, bolsterous chuckle of as it covers you, and you guys all blink out of the area. You guys will find yourselves standing just outside of the not quite smoking, but definitely decrepit ruins of Kularin,
Hmm.
the city of which you start. Which Fang looks around and goes, home. Well, friends, welcome to the valley. This is Kularin, where I grew up. And he starts giving you the whole history of the town, best he can. All of you feel strange power sitting inside of you. And you're not entirely certain what it is, but you definitely feel as if something powerful has lent its aid to you. So, mechanically speaking, you have been blessed by a entity of the light and the good. So, if you would like to take a level in cleric, regardless of your scores, a level in paladin, regardless of your scores, if you would like to take a level in warlock, celestial specifically, regardless of your ability scores, or if you'd like to simply level up your existing stuff, but you would get a unique ability involving either radiance or light, which will work out together. That's all up to you.
Yeah, I'm
You all will
probably gonna
find
take a
that your armor has been inscribed with the symbol of Fori, that kind of radiant sun, on the pauldrons and on the chest, which is fun. And as you guys are adjusting to the fact that you were just basically you passed using a plane shift twice to move you from one place to another, which is a very unnerving experience to be blinked from one place to another, passing about 1,000 miles. You guys hear a voice coming from inside the ruins. Right, I didn't think I'd find you guys here. And out comes the druid that you guys encountered before you invaded the Mages Guild, who comes out, says, "Hello. Things are not going well here. I think you might want to come inside where there's some shelter here. I came to see if there's any relics I could uncover to help aid us in the upcoming fight. Um, many of us are gathering at the city of Tepesh, both for our own safety and to prepare for the upcoming push to remove the Mages Guild from power. You see, they've taken most of the cities at this point and seem to be asserting themselves politically."
Well, we've encountered, or rather uncovered, some rather disturbing things about the Mages Guild's history and relation to the bad stuff that's happening here. And this does not bode well. But Tepesh sounds like a really good idea. We've heard that the clerical magic is of. Well, actually, no. I guess Deja wouldn't know about this.
Yeah, Fang goes, "I should have told you. Sorry. I'm sorry. I should explain. This gnome. I'm sorry. I forget your name." "That's okay. So do I." Um. Anyways, this gnome druid, nice guy, helped us out. The druids are on our side. The Mages Guild is not. They seem to have gone completely mad. The only safe city is the city of Tepesh, a city of clerics and divine magic, where the Mages Guild is not welcome. It is usually a good few days, maybe weeks travel to the east, but we could get there if we pushed hard and really worked to get there. Of course, we'd be traveling overland, and I don't know about you, but my feet hurt.
I don't live here. I have no idea. uh, Hazel and
I
I
wish
and
Augie was here.
oh right, that loud man who I met for about a minute.
What kill for Augie or Thomas right now?
Yeah, I think they're off, coming at this from another direction.
At this point, you see another blink, a flash, and Ramas pops up next to you, going, "Oh my! Well, that was odd. First, you guys walked into a tomb. Next thing I know, I'm here. What's going on? Wait, is that the sea?
Ta-da! You're here.
You're a strange group. I must get back to John. Please, if you need assistance, let me know. I'll travel along the edge of the sea coast until I can find a ship and get back to John and attempt to retake my throne, and I will meet up with you at a different time. Is there a place where I can meet you?"
Sounds like we're heading to a place called Tepesh.
Yes, Tepesh, I know it well. It's a city to the east of here, approximately in 9 days' travel. Nice city, good people. Bit of a sewer problem, but that's okay. Anyways, good luck to you. And he starts walking off towards the beach. You see him disappear into the sunset as the sun is going down. Your druid friend says, "What? You can leave in the morning. Why don't you come into the town? Well, there's not much left of Kalarn, but I've managed to get a little shelter going. You can rest, and then we can send you out, you know."
Jason Joey Fields. Found him in my notes.
Yes, Jason Joey Fields, the gnome.
Right.
Related to was Fields the
Wallaby
Ranger.
Fields.
Yeah, Wallaby Fields, which was Brad's one-time character when we did a little B plot action. All right, you guys head into the town. He gets you guys bedded up in some shelters. For those of you guys that are from the Roman Empire or from over 1,000 years ago, this is a strange-looking land.
Get those
Um,
sounds.
the cities are a completely different construction instead of the more Middle Eastern looking cities you're used to, or the furbolgs compared to the area that you once saw 1,000 years ago. There's considerably less trees. It's very unnerving. It gets you set up, gets you some basic food, some bread, some cheese, and gets you guys set up for the night so you guys can prepare for the upcoming travel to Tepesh and potentially taking down Clarice and her army of Bearcats.
Dum,
I think
dum,
that is where we'll leave
dum.
it tonight.
Yeah, seems like a good spot.
Make sure
Mhm.
to tune in next week where we will be taking on the travel to Tepesh. Who knows? There might be some guild enforcers along the way. It could be exciting.
Mhm.
And our friends that are new to this area will get to experience the crazy culture of the Valley of Threya.
Well, I'm new to this area in this time, at least.
Yeah. You know what
Mhm.
it looked like 1,000 years ago.
I actually still have, like, it's part of the druid thing. I have poorly wrought maps from my homeland that depict where I live,
I love
and
it.
so like I'm like pretty much taking those out and trying to match them up and like marking them up this whole time.
You'll notice that the forest, based off the map that Mr. Fields shows you, the forest seems to have receded by almost 100 miles from where it once lay, which makes you quite sad.
I'll put
But
some X's by some trees next to
Yeah.
a frowny face.
but you also notice that a couple of sparse human, elf, and otherwise normal D&D creatures, cities. There was a couple of towns that were there that now seem to have grown into full-fledged cities. And what was originally a kind of a tent city of a couple of scattered magic users apparently has blossomed into a full-scale guild with their own college.
It's good for them.
Except for you're a druid.
Oh yes, those dirty magicians.
The long-standing feud between divine magic users and arcane magic users, each side accusing the other of perverting a perfectly good source of magic. It's tales old as time, really. Well, friends, thank you for listening to another exciting adventure of the Tale Untold podcast. Remember, if you enjoy what you've listened to here today, please go get yourself a player's handbook, maybe a Dungeon Master's guide, grab some friends, and play yourself because honestly, Dungeons and Dragons is best with friends. Have a great night, everybody.